Oh, hey guys, it's Regal here with Regal. I'm sorry, guys. I guess you could say I'm a little bit overwhelmed and disappointed, disgruntled, demoralized, I guess you can say. Um, as you guys have probably been following my Twit feed, I've been wanting to see the Spongebob movie for quite some time. You know, word of mouth. People are like, "Oh, yeah, Reeg, you gotta go see the new SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water." And you know, I was like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, I could do that. That sounds good. That sounds great. That's something that I would love to do." But unfortunately, it turned out to be something that was nightmarish for me in nature, and in this physical realm we live in, possibly one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. Sorry, my mic keeps doing weird things. Fuck! Alright. Alright, so let's get into my pants. Jesus. You know, my mom used to say, "Hey Joe, I think more got in your body than it got in your mouth." She was funny. Terrible. She died in that spleefing accident. So on to the movie. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil the ending for you guys because I mean, there's no point in going. Don't even sell your tickets. I wouldn't even wish that upon people to sell tickets. That's horrifying. Just burn it. Don't even recycle it. Even that ticket's going to be tainted. The ending is Booger Beard pretty much sends everybody into the freezer because they're looking for Krabby Patties the whole entire time. He's like, come on, get inside the freezer. They're all in there. Locks them in there. And the end scene is camera panning out. Krusty Krab dies right there. He's like, oh, fuck this cold, and he's like, he just kind of like freezes. And the ending scene is just SpongeBob in a corner with tears running down his face. They're like freezing as they're like on his face, and Patrick just starts. He's like, I can't do this anymore, and he rips open Krusty Krab, and he starts eating his entrails, and it's very disturbing. Fades to black. As a matter of fact, Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones starts playing, and the credits roll. Now, this ending might have been one of the highlights of the movie just because it was so disturbing. As you can tell, I vomited on myself during that part. That wasn't the only time I vomited during the movie. That particular time, I looked down and went, and people were looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with you? I was like, this is a PG movie. This isn't supposed to be seen in a PG film. This film was, it was rated by important people. It shouldn't be like that. So basically, my main complaint is Tom Kenny, the guy who wrote this, the voice of SpongeBob, kind of the whole vision behind this whole SpongeBob thing, the whole SpongeBob franchise in general. I think he deserves to be lynched. Anybody who can even orchestrate an idea like this should be immediately killed in one of the most savage and uncivilized ways possible, and I would want him to be lynched. First of all, protagonist SpongeBob, probably the most unlikable character throughout the whole entire movie. I really wanted to root for him. It's like it's the protagonist. When you invest yourself in a movie, you've gotta invest yourself in the protagonist because that's the person you're hoping to win. Like, come on, overcome these problems, whether it be an external conflict or an internal conflict. Well, the main antagonist is more likable than him. Stelio Contos, the person who pretty much orchestrated the whole entire Krusty Krab thing, which is like kind of a good idea because he's like a communist, and a lot of people are like, yeah, Stelio, yeah, we like it. Come on, communism. Everybody works together. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. the common man, the working man. And, you know, SpongeBob was kind of a capitalistic pig, to be quite honest. There was a scene, not only that, he was an exhibitionist as well. There was one scene in the film where he pulled down his pants, and you're exposed to his holy yellow genitals. And honestly, like, the poster, which I never saw the poster, it's right here. I'm so glad I'm doing this in post, because this poster about made me vomit when I saw it. I'm going to have my trusty puke bucket by me when I'm actually editing this video. As you can tell, he's got his ass crack exposed. And honestly, that's a little provocative for a PG movie. You know, I saw, I was like, you know, it was gross, man. It was really gross, but I wish I would have saw that during the movie instead of the other side. The other side was horrible. Possibly the most unflattering protagonist genitalia debut in any film that I have seen to date. Patrick, the kind of co-star, I don't know what his issue is. He's a total dumbass. I don't know what they were thinking when they wrote that character. Probably the stupidest character I've ever seen. Like, what's the deal with that? Like, is he supposed to be that stupid? Like, he's like this pink thing. I've never seen something exert such unintelligence before, where I sit there, I'm like, wow. What were these guys on when they're writing this character? Why did they think that was a good idea? Patrick Star. And the last name, he's a star. They could have thought about something else. What about, like, Patrick Stewart or Patrick Swayze? You know, one of them's about to die, and one of them's already dead. So that name would be readily available pretty soon. To say this, Krusty Krab, I think they called him Mr. Krusty during the movie. He was a greedy little bastard. Like, there was no need for that character at all. I didn't feel any sort of dynamic. Like, he was rivaling SpongeBob with this whole capitalistic pig sort of thing. Let's see if this is still filming here. Okay. I mean, I was blown away that they thought that a greedy character like that, I guess. But he was siding with Stelio Contos during the whole entire thing. So, you know, it made me wonder, like, okay, what are the writers trying to do here? You know, like, and back to the genitals thing. You know, not only was I having a conflict with that, but I was about ready to throw up. It was the first time I was going to throw up during the movie, and I went like that, and I saw that there was this lovely African-American lady sitting in front of me who was enjoying the film, and, you know, to each his own. Like, if you like the movie, that's fine. Honestly, I think that's terrible. Like, go burn for that, but I didn't want to throw up on that. I didn't want to throw up on her, you know, because, like, she's enjoying it. And then I'd be called a privileged white male for throwing up on her, so, you know, I did like a little, like, and thankfully I missed myself, but I got it in my popcorn, which I guess was okay, because it kind of went a little bit excessive on the butter, so, you know, whatever. I'll say this. Stelio Contos was a great character in the movie. I think that they did a great job portraying an antagonist, but he was kind of an anti-hero to me. Like, he was a very good character, really well developed, you know, very good, strong rationale. It's just kind of sad that I saw him, you know, defeated in the end. But, you know, every time I do these reviews, I try to, I try to at least find one positive thing, even if I don't like the movie. And this movie was, I mean, it was atrocious how bad it was. And for a PG movie, very vulgar, very disgusting, very provocative, in ways where I could not get aroused. But there was one scene that I really, really, really liked. Squidward, underrated character. This is the best line, some of the best lines I've ever heard. So basically, if you've seen in the trailers, there's like chaos among Bikini Bottom. People are like fighting each other, and they're stealing, they're raping. I mean, it's terrible. It's like a nightmare. It's a dystopia. You know, it's like Fallout on roids and underwater, like, and, you know, you're just like, oh my God, when is this gonna end? What's happening here? You know, like, this is violent, this is gross. These poor people, these poor victims, and just in the middle of it, Squidward walks up on this stage, grabs a megaphone. He's like, guys, look up here. And you can tell that there's something that's disgruntling him. He knows something that this whole entire town doesn't. and everyone kind of stops. The tension is still there. Everyone's really, but their eyes are focused on Squidward, and it's kind of like this huge storm has finally met the eye. You know it's not quite over. You know anything he says isn't going to resolve it, but you're at that middle hump, the stretch between the conflict and the solution. And he's like, guys, there's been something that's bothering me. It's been on my mind forever, even before this apocalyptic situation. I don't know what to do about it. I need to get this off my mind. Everybody should know. I might die here tomorrow, and I need to say something just in case I do. Guys, I'm a pansexual. I'm sorry, it was strong. Then Mr. Krusty goes, Jim! And they all pick him up, and he's being nailed to this crucifix, and they stone him to death. And while I was watching that, I was like, Mel Gibson, I love you. You're great. You're a great actor. I love your philosophies, but Passion of the Christ has nothing on Squidward. As a matter of fact, it struck me so hard that a squid from Bikini Bottom, a squid, is stronger than my own Messiah. So, shortly after the film, covered in vomit, I walked into the Eastern Orthodox Jewish church and I converted. I can't stand for a Messiah who's not as strong as a squid. We're humans. We're supposed to be superior. And Squidward blew my mind. He changed me. So, this movie was a very negative experience for me. But that one positive experience changed me for the better. With that said, I could give this movie a really low rating. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. But I give it a 2 out of 10. And those 2 come from Squidward. Thank you, Squidward.